Hello, 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 hello. Okay, everyone. So this is kind of an off-the-cuff video that I'm going to make about CMOS because, as many of you know, CMOS is all the rave everywhere, and I've kind of been making CMOS for some years now, and I see a lot of things out there. And let's just get to the basics of my concern with people in CMOS, right? Because there's this whole bandwagon thing that happens. People come to me and they're like, oh, I want to get some CMOS because my religion now says I should have CMOS. And I don't recommend CMOS for everyone. I don't. So I'm going to show you guys, if you just like Google CMOS, which is what I did, I'm going to show you guys something. First thing I'm going to show you is this is my personalized jar of sea moss. No labels or anything, just some sea moss I made here at my house. See, my own little sea moss, right? Look at there. Look, if I turn this sea moss upside down, this sea moss is not going to fall out, right? That's kind of thick, right? There's different qualities and quantities and types and ingredients that go into some of the sea moss that people make out there. Now, this is my own little jar. I can make it however I want to make it. But I'm pointing out to you how thick it is because if you are like me and you have had a history of blood clots, you need to be concerned about the thickness of the sea moss that you're consuming because as I like to explain to people, because I'm a shamanic scientist. So yes, I do shaman type work, but I'm also a scientist and I marry the two. And so I have to make sure that people understand that herbs are good for you in general. Yes, in general, until they're not. There's a time when taking certain things doesn't work with you, especially if you're on other types of medication or if you have already gotten your body to the point of where there's problems with it, such as blood clots, heart attacks. If you have something that congeals and forms like this is no different in my mind to a person eating a really high fat diet and how the fat congeals and things. That kind of stuff happens in your arteries. So you have to be careful when you're eating something of really thick consistency that hardens like this. Of course, you can have sea moss that isn't this concentrated. Of course, mine is concentrated because I'm putting it into something else, right? I'm making it into a soup. I'm doing other things with my sea moss gel. I'm not just taking it in this state and just eating it out the jar, which some people do. And I do make versions for people who are eating it out the jar, right? But I'm going to share my screen with you and show you guys something that I found when I looked up sea moss. Okay, so now you guys should see my screen where it says what we've uncovered. What are the health benefits of IRC-MOS? So this is this site, ircmossreport.com. Again, I don't support them. I'm just going to show you something that when I just Googled CMOS, this is what I found out there. Now, apparently, this is a person who's promoting CMOS in the capsules. I don't promote anything in the capsule unless you know the herbalist who put it in the capsule. Because as a herbalist, I can tell you that when making things that go in the capsules, you normally have to put something in there to help that item out. As a scientist, I can tell you that that's not regulated all the time in the United States or most other countries. You don't necessarily know what people are putting in as a filler when they make these capsules. And what they put in when they make the capsule may be something that's harmful to you in your situation. So it might not harm everyone. So just because it works for your friend does not mean it's going to work for you. And these are things that kind of throw me off. I got people who come in my DM and they say, hey, there's this new herb out. What do you think of it? Is it good? In general, I say, yeah, but not for everybody, right? Depending on what you're already doing and the combination of things you have going on and, what type of state your body is in. So let's look at this one for these capsules of the sea moss. They say, hey, guess what sea moss can be used for? Improving libido, enhancing immunity, revving metabolism, Okay, promoting healthy thyroid, aiding digestion, boosting cognitive function, strengthening antioxidant defenses, maintaining healthy weight, supporting cardiovascular health. Supporting cardiovascular health. Cardiovascular health, that's your heart, for those of you who do not know. One of the problems that occurs with your heart is that there's what's called atherosclerosis. So there's hardening of the arteries that actually lead to your heart, to and from your heart. Well, arteries take blood away. Okay, I might end up giving you guys an entire lecture, and I don't want to do that with this. I digress. But the basic thing is a lot of people have heart attacks because their arteries are clogged with things. And people are like, what are they clogged with? Most of the time, fat, because fat hardens in the arteries, right? But if that's the case, then why is it that you see people having heart attacks who take steroids? I'll wait. Why is it you see people having heart attacks as a side effect to other medications that they were taking? And these people don't appear to be obese, morbidly obese or anything. They don't appear to be fat. That's because hardening of your arteries is not necessarily associated with how much abdominal fat that you have, because of course people can have genetic disorders. There's a lot of other factors that go into it. But again, with the CMOS congeals, right? Congeals, and if it congeals and you have it in the wrong concentration, that can actually pose a problem for you and your heart. And I don't think there's enough studies out there on people taking the congealed form who have heart attacks or have a history of heart disorder or heart disease, or they're combining it with a diet that's full of fat and other things that contribute to heart problems. I don't think there's enough information out there to where I would tell a person in that particular state, meaning having had a heart attack or at risk for having a heart attack, that, oh, you know what, you should be taking CMOS. That's not what I do. And most things that when people come to me about, they're like, oh, I want to take this herb. So if you look on this page, like bladderwrack and burdock root, which are two herbs that I love. Those are two herbs that I keep stocked in my herb pantry, right? But, and it says burdock root, antioxidant, protect the body for cellular damage, normally used for people who have cancer. But it is also used for people who have skin problems. See, there's more than one thing that you can use many herbs for. So when I'm out here telling people what they should take and what they shouldn't take, it is after I do a complete evaluation of what they are on now. The medicine that they are on, in addition to the herbs that they are on, in addition to the lifestyle that they are trying to maintain. For instance, here you go, you see improving libido for CMOS. If you are on Viagra and you take other things that are also working on the libido, do you understand that there can be a counteractive type thing that happens, meaning it's antagonistic, meaning it's not synergistic, it's not working in partnership with whatever you're taking. So you have to be careful about that. So if I know someone is struggling with male fertility issues or male reproductive issues, meaning they don't have a high sperm count and they're taking drugs to get their sperm count up, or people who are not able to sustain an erection, so they have erectile dysfunction. I'm not going to just go and say, oh, hey, you need to be on CMOS. And recently, there's been a movement with some religious or groups out there who are like, hey, everybody should take CMOS. Again, not true. There isn't one thing on this planet that is an herbal type remedy that I would just automatically say is good for every last person. The only thing that I would say is good for every last person is oxygen and water. And even water, I got some questions on because people are like, oh, I drink 3 gallons of water a day. No, not good for everybody. Not good, not good. But that's it. Everything else, it really depends on what else you got going on. So just because somebody tells you that, oh, zinc worked for me, doesn't mean it's going to work for you, because you may have something going on to where zinc is toxic for you. Okay, so here's what this company says. This is what they're saying. Oh, sea moss boosts cardiovascular health. It has 92 minerals and nutrients. So most people who are affiliated with Dr. Sebi notice that Dr. Sebi promotes sea moss for these reasons, right? Improve the body's defense mechanism, provides a good source of live bacteria and natural fiber to aid digestion. Um, that's not necessarily true. This refers to 100% natural, non-pharmaceutical Irish sea moss supplement, right? So you got to look at those types of disclaimers that are on whatever product you're trying to get. So this is sea moss with burdock root and bladderwrack. Again, this is because people come to me and they're like, I saw these pills in Walmart or whatever store, and it was sea moss. Most of the pills in the stores that I have seen are a combination of something else. You have to look at what the combination is, which is why you should be reading the back of the label. You just can't go and say, oh, I'm just going to start taking something. And, they come back and to me and they're like, oh, I had so many issues when I tried that sea moss. Not when you tried my sea moss, because when they get sea moss from me, it is purely sea moss. And there are other people out there who they are only making the sea moss into the gel. There are other people who are doing nothing but sea moss and maybe a fruit, nothing else added. Plenty of people doing that. But there's also the people out there who are doing this kind of stuff. Now, I have never used these capsules because, first and foremost, I'm not a capsule person. One, I like my organs, and I know that it's better for your organs to deal with the natural, raw substance, whatever it may be. So I try to give my organs the natural, raw substance whenever possible. Is there a time and place where a capsule is beneficial? Yes, there is. If sometimes, especially in a hospital setting, that's the best way for a person to get something. But again, it's an individual basis. So I just made this video because I want you guys to do your research. And I'm going to go back here and I want you to, when you decide you want to take something, I would encourage you not to just start taking it because somebody said you should take it. Everyone has a individual constitution within this little human flesh here. We got a lot of things going on, right? And that's the same thing with diets. I don't tell everyone to be vegan or vegetarian or meat eaters or anything. It is purely based on what is going on with you. If you look at our animal kingdom, you look at the sharks, you look at bears, you look at deer, you look at cows, all of those animals, if you lead them to their normal habitat, they are going to eat what's based on their genetic makeup and what's good for them. They're not going to just eat what the next person is eating. And we really have to understand that. We think because we're all human beings, we should all eat the same diet. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. We should not. Now, there is a diet that pretty much every human being could survive off of, true. But for a period of time, all of us can survive off of many different diets, right? But anyway, so I wanted to make this video just for those people who DM me asking me, is this good? Is that good? Should I take this? Should I take that? I always come back to them with a boatload of questions. And for also my friends who DM me for their friend or their family member. Um, I do consults. I do herbal consults, and you pay for those. My time is valuable. I can't just be answering questions for every person all day long for free. If I make a video about something, look at the video. I will tell you whatever it is I know. I don't know everything. If I don't know something, what I do, I look it up. As a matter of fact, I have herbal books, and I have had herbal books. What I know, truly know, is from unlocking my DNA. It's from my spiritual guides, my spiritual world, my heritage of, yeah, I've been eating grass literally out the ground since I was a kid in Michigan, right? So I know some things, but then I'm also a scientist. I went to school, I learned some other stuff, so I know that, right? There's things I don't know. They come up with new things every day. I don't have time to keep up with that. That's not for me. So there's going to be things I don't know. And guess what I'm going to tell you? I don't know. And I don't want to know, right? Because it's not pertinent to my life. But I encourage you to do your research on what it is that you are looking for. And sometimes you can find stuff on Google. True. There are herbal shops all over. Go to your local herb shop and ask someone working in the herb shop or a local farmer's market where someone grows herbs. Ask that person. Right now, I'm in Tallahassee and I've made a connection with a couple local farmers, and they literally grow everything here and then Quincy, right? If I want some things, I can go there and get it. Now, they don't have everything that I stock in my pantry. And that's why when I'm in some other places, I know that they got something I'm looking for, I pick it up. But they have a lot of things, and a lot of them would give you a lot of information just because you're there, right? Now, don't just go and ask these people things. Shop, buy something from them. They're educating you. Money is a currency, money is in exchange. Buy something from the people just to say thank you. Just buy. And if not, some of them have tip jars. Just leave a tip just to say thank you for educating me. Let's be good to each other. All right. So I really hope this information helps somebody. And this is, again, one of those, if spirit directs me, I just make a video for you guys. That's why when you come to my website, my YouTube channels, my Facebook, any of my pages, there's a lot of different information that you're going to get because I know a lot of different things. I know a lot of different things. And so I just share that knowledge, right? And it's also why my students love me because I give them a lot of educational things, lots of stuff. Okay, until next time, be well. As somebody said this, and I love it, have the day that you deserve. All right, obviously I got to go now. The phone's ringing. Bye.